personality of Godhead known as Lord Krishna. Your reputation is bright and illuminating. You have no beginning, for you are the beginning of everything. This is understood by pure devotees because you are easily accessible to the pure and truthful. When the conditioned souls are liberated and sheltered at your lotus feet after revealing or roving throughout the material world for many millions of years, they attain the highest success of life. Therefore, O Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, we offer our respectful obeisance at your lotus feet. The demigods certainly wanted Lord Vishnu to relieve their anxiety, but now they directly approach Lord Krishna, for although there is no difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Vishnu. Krishna descended to this planet in his Vasudeva feature for the purpose of Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Duskritam, Bhagavad Gita 4.8, protecting his devotee and annihilating the miscreants. Demons are atheists, always disturb the demigods or devotees, and therefore Krishna descends to punish the atheists and the demons and fulfill the desire of his devotee. Krishna, being original cause of everything, is the supreme person above even Vishnu and Narayana. Although there is no difference between these different form of the Lord, as explained in Brahma Shaita 5.46, Deepa Chireva Hidasantaram Abhyupeta Deepa Yate Vivita Hetu Samana Dharma Yastragda Eva Hicha Vishnu Taya Viveti Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhaja. Krishna expands himself as Vishnu the way a bright candle kindles another. Although there is no difference between the power of one candle and another, Krishna is compared to the original candle. The word Mrusta Yase is significant herein because Krishna is always famous for relieving his devotees from danger. A devotee who has sacrificed everything for the service of Krishna and who is only source of relief is the Lord is known as Akinchana. As expressed in the prayers offered by Queen Kunti, the Lord is Akinchana Vita. The property of such a devotees, those who are liberated from the bondage of conditioned life, are elevated to the spiritual world, where they achieve the five kind of liberation: Sajujya, Salokya, Saripya, Saristi, and Samipya. They personally associate with the Lord in the five mellows: Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vaschalya, and Madhurya. These rasas are all emanations from Krishna. As described by Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura, the original mellow Adi Rasa is conjugal love. Krishna is the origin of pure and spiritual conjugal love. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
So here the demigods are totally out of frightened with tremendous anxiety, fear of demon Vritasura. They are approaching the Supreme Lord, and although normally we have seen many occasions where demigods they have been to Vishnu, and many occasions demigods headed by Brahma they have been to Lord Krishna. So, but it is very as Lord Vishnu is the we say like he is the pipeline to the material world. So, Supreme Lord Krishna all avatars, sources, the supreme source is Supreme Lord Krishna, but in material world it appears like the Vishnu is the source. Like everything, all avatars, the source in material world is the Vishnu, because Lord Vishnu is the cause of all causes in this material. He is Karmadoksai Vishnu, and from him other expansions are comes out. So Purusha avatar, Guna avatars. So like this, Brahmas have approached. Brahmas headed by demigods, they have approached Lord Vishnu as well as Krishna. So there, this means what I believe, what in my understanding, uh, demigods are well aware who is who, like who is Vishnu and who is Krishna. And even they know that although Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport that Vishnu and Krishna is same, and is one candle lighting another candle is putting the reference verse from Brahma Samhita, but still Govindam Adi Purusham, or the Shyam Sundara Krishna, who is the original form, original Supreme Lord, they are finally taking the name in this verse of Lord Krishna to protect this from this danger. So it is a matter of life and death. So at this situation, they are offering various prayers to the Supreme Savior of this planet, the Supreme Savior of the heaven, always who has protected. So now they are praying how they can get out of this dangerous situation. So Prabhupada is here putting up Queen Kunti's verses. Lord Krishna is Akinchana Gochara, Akinchana Vitta, and Namo Akinchana Vittaya. And there is also another two prayers, I think, in Kunti Maharanis. There is another Akinchana Gochara also in another verse. So, and 5 kind of liberations and 5 kind of rasas. So, I think each rasa is into each liberation. I don't think it will match. Prabhuji could explain better why. I am not able to much explain into this. Santa Dasya, Sakhya, Vaschalya, and Madhurya. And here this liberation kind is Sajujya, Salokya, Sarupya, Saristi, and Samipya. Whether they are matching each rasas to each liberation, no idea I have. I would like to request somebody having on this, throw some light on this.
Prabhuji is there.
This is Prabhuji is here.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. So there is no one-to-one correspondence between these liberations and these muktis. I mean, these liberations are like, Sayujya, Salokya. So Sayujya having the same bodily form as the Lord. So that is usually in the Vaikuntha planets. In Vaikuntha planets, there is no question of any ras except for Dasya ras. I mean, all the associates of Lord Narayan, they are not in Vatsalya or any other ras. So there's no question of these rasas. However, one important question that we should have in our minds after reading all these prayers is that the demigods have attained the audience of the Lord, and they're offering such beautiful personal prayers. Then why are they still asking for this form of protection? We're going to see actually later on in the 8th canto, we're going to see the prayers of Gajendra. Gajendra is also asking for protection in the same way, but Gajendra is a bit more thoughtful. In the end, he says, "My dear Lord, protect me from this crocodile and from material life itself, which is like a crocodile." So Gajendra is a bit more thoughtful, and he's asking the Lord to protect him from the material life itself, because he understands that his real danger is not coming from crocodile or any demon, but his real danger is actually coming from the concept of material life itself. So why are the demigods not asking such a question? Vritrasur is just one part of the demonic entities who are in this world. So why are they specifically asking for protection from Vritrasur, but not from anything else? Why are they not asking? Why are they not seeking audience of the Lord Himself? So, Shishnodara Parayana Krishna Nahi Paye. The answer is very simple. Material attraction is very strong. Material attachment is extremely strong. Even someone of the caliber of Kardam Muni, he meditated for 10,000 years. He was a pure sannyasi. And then he attained the audience of the Supreme Lord. And yet he could not resist the idea of enjoying family life. So we can see how strong this material attraction is, that even in the presence of Lord, one is not able to give up material attachments. So in this regard, Srila Prabhupada gives a very stern warning. He says that even if you have a 1% attachment to this material world, you will have to take another birth. Even the greatest of demigods who are constantly associating with the Supreme Lord are not able to give up this material world. It's not that the Lord is holding them down or Maya is holding them down. We are ourselves attaching ourselves to this world. So therefore, when we are chanting, when we are reading, the whole idea should be to free our desires from material nature. Kamasya nendriya pritir labho jivet yavta. Kamasya nendriya pritir. So one should turn one's desires away. It's our own desire which is holding us back in this world. So even someone of the level of demigods who can see the Lord, who have his audience, who are actually acting as his deputies, even they are not able to give up this material misconception. The attachment is so strong that they are now seeking protection from a demon who is hindering their sense gratification. But they are at least not realizing that their sense gratification itself is the cause of this danger, not any demon or any other entity. So the whole process of bhakti is to turn our desires away from material conception towards a spiritual conception. So it's very simple. When you go to the temple, for example, you can take some prasadam which is offered there, or you could go outside to a hotel which has some very tasty food. Obviously, the food in the hotel would be tastier because they are professional cooks. But the desire to eat, desire to taste new foods is there in your heart. So if you can turn your desire away from eating non-sanctified food to eating sanctified one, this should be a lesson in how to turn our desires. So desires themselves are not condemned. Bhagavatam is not condemning the desire itself, but Bhagavatam is condemning the direction of this desire. So if we are desiring to be in the material world, then even the Lord will not be able to protect us. So the whole concept of liberation is that one should seek protection from material misconception. However, Srila Prabhupada is explaining here that one who is offering personal prayers to the Lord will eventually come to the platform of pure devotion. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanvan mam prapadyate. So after getting kicked by many lifetimes, eventually one will come to the stage of surrendering fully to Krishna. On the other hand, one who does not offer any personal prayers will not be able to attain any such thing. So, one should learn to give up the material desires. So, if one is somehow, see the whole point in the previous verse also Srila Prabhupada was mentioning, the advantage for materialistic devotees is that they sometimes give up their material desires and become pure. So, it is up to us. Krishna has given everything. Now it is up to us to purify our desires. Yes, you have a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the question is what I was thinking to ask this question day before yesterday too. You talk about desires, right? We listen to Bhagavatam today, and tomorrow a situation comes, we forget what Bhagavatam says, and then we are back onto the square one. So, jab conditioning is tarah ki hai, how can we purify the desire? Like then it clicks after the fact that, oh, you should have done it this way rather than that way.
So you should hear, Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya.
Hmm.
So nishthaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavad sevaya bhagavati uttam shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. So nityam bhagavad sevaya. So Srila Prabhupada says by constantly hearing the Bhagavatam and serving the Vaishnavas, gradually all that is disturbing to the heart is overcome. So gradually it takes place. It takes time. You know, your child does some mischief and you slap him. It's not that he'll learn it forever. He'll make mistake again. After getting slapped 4 or 5 times, he'll learn that he should not do something. So it takes time. We'll get kicked by Maya again and again. Every time we'll learn a lesson, slightly better than the previous time.
Yes. True.
So Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya, constant hearing of Bhagavatam and constant serving the devotees.
ठीक है जी. Thank you so much, Prabhu ji. Hare Krishna
See,
ji.
we are spending like 45 minutes in one day with devotees hearing Bhagavatam. What are we doing for the remaining 23 hours and 15 minutes? There we are only associating with material energy.
Yes.
Or maybe we are chanting for 2 hours. So then again, another 21.5 hours we are spending in material energy.
Very true.
So you can see the proportion, you know.
Yes. Yeah, the impact. That's why the impact of the other conditioning is very huge. But then
Yes,
Prabhu ji,
maximum 20.
practically क्या इसका क्या solution निकाले? Like how we can't, there is, okay, we can push ourselves to an extent that we are increasing our service, but only to certain extent ना. फिर कैसे करें?
See, keep on increasing it. Death will come very soon. At the time of death, you know, prana prayana samaye kafat pitto kantavarodhana vidho smaranam kutaste. How will we remember the Lord if we are not practicing now? Death can come any moment. And if death comes in our present consciousness, God only knows where we'll land up.
Yes.
So we are in a very dangerous situation.
Mm-hmm.
See, what are we doing? We are acquiring so much of knowledge. We are doing so many things on the mundane platform because we think it is very important, isn't it?
Yes.
Family is important, job is important, profession is important. Bhagavatam is not so much. So, but what is Shankaracharya saying? Nahi samprapte sannihita kale nahi nahi rakshati dukran karani. So all this is not going to help us at the time of death. Engineers have to die, doctors have to die, presidents die, queens die, everyone has to die. But what helps one is Krishna. So we should, considering that, we should think of Krishna all the times.
ठीक है प्रभु जी. ठीक है जी. Thank you so much, Prabhu ji.
The goal of sadhana is to practice remembering Krishna 24 hours a day.
पर लैग तो है ना हर तरफ से. एटलीस्ट मुझे तो लैग दिख रहा है कि लैग है. There is no way we are doing this. So फिर वही समझ में नहीं आ रहा ना, how to fix that gap.
So labho jivet yavata. Think of liberation. Turn the life's desires. You know, why are you studying, say, some management theories or some statistical theories? Because it is needed for profession. Not that you like to study statistical correlations, not that you like to study some human behavioral theories. No, you study them because they are needed for your profession. Your profession is needed because it is needed for your family. So you are doing it. So just like that, bhakti. So at that time, you don't like something, you just turn your desire there. Okay, I will force myself to study for 2 hours a day. So consider this to be your path to liberation.
True.
And force yourself into this discipline of remembering the Lord all the time.
Determination.
Absolutely.
ठीक है प्रभु जी. Thank you जी. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so maybe we can continue with the next verses.
जी.
Shri Shuka Uvacha.
Shri
Shukra
Shukra
Vacha.
Athaivam idito rajan.
अथैव
Idito Rajan.
राजन.
Sadaram tri dashair hari.
सादरं
Sadaram Tri
त्रिदशैर्हरि.
Dashair Hari.
Swam upasthanam akaranya. Akarnya.
Svam Upasthanam Akarnya.
आक्रण्य.
Prahatan abhinandita.
प्राहतां.
Rahatan Abhinandita.
Shri Shukadeva Goswami continued. O King Parikshit, When the demigods offered the Lord their sincere prayers in this way, the Lord listened by his causeless mercy. Being pleased, he then replied to the demigods. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Prito ham vah suras shrestha
Prito Ham Surashrestha
Surashrestha
mad upasthana vidyaya
Mat Upasthana Vidyaya
Vidya
Atmaishwarya smriti pumsam
Atmaishwarya Pumsahi Pumsam
bhaktischaiva yayamayi.
Bhaktishchaiva Yayamayi. May I read,
May I
Prabhuji?
read? Yes, please.
Hare
Go
Krishna.
ahead, go ahead.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O beloved demigods, you have offered your prayers to me with great knowledge, and I am certainly most pleased with you. A person is liberated by such knowledge, and thus he remembers my exalted position, which is above the conditions of material life. Such a devotee is fully purified by offering prayers in full knowledge. This is the source of devotional service to me. Purport. Another name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Uttama Shloka, which means that he is offered prayers with selected verses. Bhakti means Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, chanting and hearing about Lord Vishnu. Impersonalists cannot be purified, for they do not offer personal prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even though they sometimes offer prayers, the prayers are not directed toward the Supreme Person. Impersonalists sometimes show their incomplete knowledge by addressing the Lord as being nameless. They always offer prayers indirectly, saying, You are this, you are that, but they do not know to whom they are praying. A devotee, however, always offers personal prayers. A devotee says, Govinda Mahadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Govinda, unto Krishna. That is the way to offer prayers. If one continues to offer such personal prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is eligible to become a pure devotee and return home back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, thank you. So, like we were discussing, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gyanvan Mam Prapadyate. By constantly remembering the Lord, eventually we'll become purified. Eventually we'll reach a stage where we can only think of Krishna and nothing else. See, remember this, that when we are remembering Krishna for some material desires, it is still remembrance of Krishna. So it is completely all right to think of Krishna even for materialistic purpose. Akamaham sarva kamava moksha kamudaradhi. So somehow or the other, somehow or the other, remember Krishna. So one is able to remember Krishna, offer prayers to him gradually. See, Krishna is not just going to fulfill the wishes. He's going to fulfill the wishes only if they are good for our spiritual life. That's why Krishna is sometimes considered whimsical by the demigod worshippers, and they don't like to worship Krishna. As Krishna himself explains in the 10th canto when he's speaking with Rukmini Devi, that Krishna will only fulfill the desires if they are beneficial for the living entity. Like, for example, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Ami Vignya Ei Murkha Vishaya Kene Diba. He'll not give a Vishaya. He'll only fulfill the desires if it's going to help the person in the long run. So, somehow or the other, worshipping Krishna is anyway preferable to not worshipping him at all. Or, for that matter, even worshipping the impersonal form of the Lord. By worshipping Krishna, one will gradually develop desire to attain only Krishna, because he is the all-attractive personality of Godhead. So here, that's why the Lord is saying something very interesting. A person is liberated by such knowledge, and thus he remembers my exalted position, which is above the conditions of material life. Such a devotee is fully purified by offering prayers in full knowledge. This is the source of devotional service to me. So yes, even though they have asked Lord for protection from a demon, which is certainly on a material platform, the Lord still considers this transcendental, because eventually they will be purified. Hare Krishna. Yes, any questions or comments?
It just makes you wonder that how much impurity, like at the demigod level, we can't think of impurity for these guys. But considering
the impurities at the level of demigods are very, very less. They're very refined. We human beings are attracted to obnoxious things.
Yes.
Like, for example, cheese.
Mhm.
If you smell a slab of cheese, how horrible it is.
Mhm.
The foods that demigods eat are always fragrant. They are very nice
Mm.
in the mode of goodness. Our foods are in all sorts of positions, all sorts of conditions.
Mhm.
Therefore, we can see.
Mhm.
So we can see that our desires are very impure. But demigods are a lesson to us to understand that we are still that how much refinement we need to undergo, how much purification we need to undergo. First, we have to give up these desires in the mode of ignorance and passion. Then they will be stuck at the mode of goodness, and then we'll be able to transcend it.
Mhm.
So, looking at all of this, we should also thank ourselves. Thank our destiny that Krishna has put us in this position. This position means, that uh, that we can now completely surrender to the Lord. That we can surrender to the Lord unhesitatingly without any false ego. We know we have no qualification.
Mhm.
We are so impure that our position is practically hopeless.
Mhm.
The only hope that we have is the shelter of the holy name.
Mhm.
Krishna Krishna Raksha Mam, Krishna Krishna Pahi Mam. Krishna Keshava Raksha Mam, Rama Raghav. Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam, Rama Raghav Raksha Mam.
Mhm.
So you see, so only Krishna can save us. We have no qualification at all. The greatest of sages are not able to give up this material attachment. They are attached to the mode of goodness, knowledge, renunciation. They are attached to that. So they are not able to attain the lotus feet of the Lord. And we are so fallen.
Sometimes it makes
So
you wonder
this
Hare
is
Krishna,
what
Prabhuji.
Prabhupada has done for us.
yes, Prabhu, boliye.
Prabhuji, just wanted to ask you, like, it is like a continuation to same question what Mataji is asked now on Mataji's questions. I have also similar kind of question, which is like, Prabhuji, is it like material desire or material attraction, enjoyment? All these are like, Prabhuji, very addictive. It is so obsessive, and this addiction is like, morning or suppose I say, I will not do now, I want Krishna, or I will sometimes mind think that I will follow pure devotional service, practicing purely, nicely. I want to become a nice devotee, or I want to serve Krishna, serve Guru Parampara, serve follow Acharyas. I want to be a asset of Acharyas and the instrument of Acharya Paramparas and in the hand of Krishna. Other way around, after 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, the mind changed. This happens very frequently, Prabhuji. Like, it is, of course, I realize it is due to Guna Sangha. So, Guna Sangha, like, we associate with different Guna, or maybe it is my or our living entities conditioning, past conditioning. It is not going, Prabhuji. Clearly, like you said, day will come, somebody will think only Krishna. But when that day will come and how that day will come, how difficult it is to, how rigorously one has to practice. So this is a big question, actually.
See,
Getting
Sanga
up,
Tyaga
falling
Sato
down,
Vritti.
getting up, falling down, getting up, falling down. It is going on.
Because we are not giving a bad association, Prabhu. Association is also important. So we have to give up bad association. Sanga Tyaga Sato Vritti. So you see, Prabhu, Sanga Tyaga, we have to give up. So bad association is bringing these gunas back into us. we are associating at work, we are associating with family, friends, family itself. So all these are bringing this bad association back, this bad qualities back. That's why, sometimes boys are sent to live in hostels to learn. So that they can be in an academic environment and pick up the academics. So just like that, a student of bhakti should stay in an academic environment. You should stay in sadhu sangha. So you should study Prabhupada's books. When you are not with devotees, you should be with Srila Prabhupada. This is the only way to gradually become free from this materialistic misconception. Does that answer your question, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. I could sense
Please
it. Like
remember
the
this.
same mind, I could
See,
relate,
please
Prabhuji,
remember this is
when
a very difficult path.
those days I was, yes, Prabhuji. Like, I just like to share, Prabhuji, one thing, like, if, like an alcoholic person who knows that due to drinking his life is miserable, he has an accident last night due to drinking, or he made a disease because of alcohol. Although his mind says that this is wrong, I will not do it, he swear, take resolution and do all these things. And evening, somehow in the night or evening, the mind changes and he said, I will take a little bit. So this is like an obsession which comes and overpowering this, pure good thought which was there, good thought. It overpowers that good thought, and this attack automatically comes. So it happens like taking resolutions to follow bhakti sincerely. That thought sometimes go away, and eating anything out or doing something or spending time unnecessarily somewhere. Somehow mind is thinking to take pleasure through sense enjoyment somehow or other, by unknowingly, unconsciously also, Prabhuji, it happens. And
Yes.
and normally the enjoyment it comes.
See, Prabhu, we have to, Prabhu, what we have to do is we need to constantly remind ourselves of our purpose. That's why we have Rupa Goswami's Updeshamrit. Updeshamrit, if you read the first three verses, you will find most of your answers there. They are a bit hard to implement because we live in an environment which is non-devotional. Everyone from top to bottom is a non-devotee. We are seeing their activities, and gradually we also become overwhelmed by their association. At workplace, at family functions, everywhere, wherever we are meeting people, they are non-devotees. We hardly meet any devotee. So therefore, it is obvious that we think that that is normal and what we are doing is abnormal. But if we change our association, if we maintain quality association, we are able to escape this poison.
प्रभु जी, मेरे को ऐसा लगता है ये अपने कंट्रोल में कैसे है? हाउ कैन वी कैसे एसोसिएशन छोड़े? जैसे अब फॉर एग्जांपल फैमिली या फॉर एग्जांपल वर्क, यू गोटा गो टू वर्क, यू गोटा हेल्प द फैमिली, ठीक है, ड्यूटी समझ के भी किया, पर किया तो सही ना? So mind is so weak. The moment you do certain things, you are just done. Right? ऐसे है mind के just starts to think about the same thing again and again. फिर वापस coming is so hard.
It is hard. But if we want to save ourselves, we'll do. Like Prabhupada used to say, one who wants to remain pure can remain pure in any circumstance. One can remain pure in any circumstance. If that is the measure, then we would not have any brahmacharis. Keshavan Prabhu has an ashram, Mayapur has an ashram, brahmacharis are living there. We can't say, oh, there are half-naked females running around all over the world, so how can anyone stay a brahmachari? Yes, there are some who are more passionate, they fall down. Some are able to control their passionate nature, they are able to avoid that association. So it is up to us, how we want to protect ourselves. So, the onus is on us.
Yes.
If others are dying, we cannot let ourselves die.
True.
See, it depends all upon us. Like in India also, you see so many competitive exams, NDA, JEE, NEET, so many exams take place. There are students who clear those.
Hmm.
They work really hard. They avoid all sense pleasure. Somehow or the other, dedicate their time. They manage to clear it. So others who are not so disciplined, they don't clear.
Hmm.
So you see, anything good in this life means there has to be hard work. Without hard work, there's this old, Sanskrit adage that was there in CBSE board, like when I was in school. You know, Vidyarthi nam kuto sukham, sukharthi nam kuto vidya. So one who is only seeking pleasure, how can he attain knowledge? And one who is seeking knowledge, what is pleasure for him? So discipline is needed. Shurasya dhara nishita duratyaya durgam pathas tat kavayo vadanti. This is a difficult path. This is not an easy path. No, chant and be happy is only for newcomers. There is a gap between chant and be happy.
Yes.
It's not so easy. Chant and be happy. Yes, you chant now, you'll be happy maybe after 3 births.
3 words is too short. Prabhuji seems too short. It has to be 30 words, I guess.
See, it's not easy. We are asking for the ultimate. How can that be easy?
True.
You're in North America. You know how difficult it is to get into Stanford or MIT or Cornell. How difficult it is.
True.
So maybe 1 in 1,000 may get this. So, and we are talking about Krishna himself. Krishna, the ultimate. So how can that be easy? It is simple for the simple. We have to purify ourselves.
Sometimes the mind says, it's Prabhupadaji's mercy, and without his mercy, we don't stand anywhere. And the other side, the mind says, how can it be so hard when Prabhupadaji is so merciful? So it just double things that come to my mind always.
See, it was impossible. By Prabhupada's mercy, it has become hard. It has become
Very
possible.
true. Very true. Very true.
Otherwise, it was impossible.
True. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That was helpful.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so we stop here now. We continue tomorrow. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki
Thank you,
jai.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Krishna
Dandavat pranam.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Ram,
Krishna.
thank you.
Dandavat
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all very much.